The following episode of Dad vs. Daughter was made possible by a contribution from Passport Game Studios. Hello and welcome to another episode of Dad vs. Daughter. I'm Tim the Dad.
I'm Megan the Daughter.
And today we are playing Skyward.
This is by Rule and Make and distributed by Passport Games.
Yes, this is one of those games that has a very unique mechanic. It's the I split, you choose. And we are going to be launching buildings in space. We're going to have some airships, but we got to watch out for one thing.
Pigeons.
Pigeons,
Lots
because
of
pigeons poop all over everything.
Yep.
And they're worth negative points. So let's check out our playthrough and review.
All right.
Skyward is an I split, you choose type of game.
Yes.
What that means is one player is going to split cards, in this case, and the other person gets to choose first. So the person splitting is probably going to want to try to make it about as even as possible, because otherwise they could really hose themselves up.
Yep.
So we are going to have a stack of cards, and in a two-player game, we are going to split up 8 cards into 2 piles. Now the little board that we have here has a little legend at the bottom, and it says 2 players, 8 cards, 3 players, 12 cards, 4 players, 16 cards. And this really isn't needed too much, but it is kind of cool because it's got neat artwork on it, and it is double-sided. I actually think this side looks pretty cool.
That one is pretty cool, yeah.
Yeah, so
With all the air bases.
this is just basically a place to keep the cards that we have for the deck and for the discard pile, and just a friendly little reminder on how many cards to use. So we're just going to put that up here. Now, we are going to have the person splitting is going to be the warden, and that's also the first player. And you'll notice it says the warden gets +1 cog. So when a person splits the piles, one of the piles they are going to put this on, and whoever takes that pile then will become the warden for the next turn. And Megan is showing you what the cog looks like right there.
And the piles do not have to be even 4 and 4. That is the kind of the nice thing about it, but it also makes it a bit interesting.
In fact, you could have, like with the 8 cards we're going to have, you could have it be 7 cards and 1. You could have it be 8 cards and nothing.
That seems a bit unfair.
Well, yeah, I don't know why you do that, but it is allowable. So, Megan, do you want to talk about what some of these cards are and how they kind of work together?
Yeah, so first off, we have our different factions. We have 4 of those. And first we have our collective. They're kind of little robot-looking minion people. Then we've got the maker, which is like a bit cooler robot. And then we have the elite seer, and this is a level 2 one, so that's why he's got 2 of the symbols. And then we have a preserver there. So they're all color coordinated, and they tell you here along how many of this type of card is in the deck, and then you have the symbols that match up with it, and that is how you're going to build some of these buildings here. Yes,
because the whole point of the game is that you are constructing buildings and then launching them into the air kind of above the planet. So not really sure why you really do that, but you do. And the rule book will also give you a little bit of backstory on what each of the factions, kind of what their motivation is. But I won't spoil that. I'll let you guys read that on your own.
Yep. So kind of looking here, you have the cloud network that needs 2 of these symbols. So you're going to make sure you have 2 of those cards in your hand to be able to play to launch this. And then on this one, you have that same green symbol, and then you kind of have this cool looking rainbow triangle creation
Almost
here.
like a flower.
Yeah, and that has all the colors of the different factions. That's going to be your wild. So as long as you have a green, and then let's say I have a green and a pink, I can go ahead and use that and launch my assembly line.
The other thing you can do is if you don't have those symbols, you can use 1 cog as a wild card to represent any of the symbols that you want.
Yep, so that's kind of cool. We also have a couple other cards that will come up, and they are going to be launched first into your airspace.
And you can tell because they have the immediate symbol down here. We'll talk about the other card symbols, but you can also see that it says this is a vehicle.
So it's not a building. So you have your airships, and you have your airship bay, so you kind of want to try to correlate some of those together, especially with some of the other cards.
Which the airship bay is an actual building.
It is, yeah.
It is actually, when we first started playing, we didn't really notice because they look so similar that we just assumed. But you'll notice down here, it's got that launch icon. And so whenever you actually build this and launch it, then that's when you do the action on the bottom part.
And then we have some kind of interesting things. We have our critters. So you have your pigeons. Those are going to go immediately into your airspace, and they're -2 points if you do not have a rookery.
That's because pigeons are poop factories.
They are, but you know how you can get rid of pigeons if you don't have a rookery?
Yep. Rocket Cat.
It's not like, you know, Rocket the trash panda, but it is kind of similar.
No.
But your Rocket Cat gives you a bonus point, and then he can send some pigeons your direction. That's kind of cool.
Yep.
So, yeah.
So let's talk about some of these other buildings. So we showed you the ones that have the immediate effect. Those are the cards you're going to be putting into your tableau right away. The other ones here, you'll notice that they have a symbol down at the bottom. This is an ongoing thing, and it says reveal your hand, launch memorial for free if you have 3 or more unique faction cards.
Yep.
So let's just say you had a pink, a blue, and a green. All you had to do was flash those from your hand, and you could put this one, immediately launch that one. You'll see that normally it would take 3 greens in order to launch that one, and it's worth 5 victory points at the end of the game. Because the end of the game happens either when you deplete the deck, which we've never done in a 2-player game, or you have 6 cards or more that you have launched. So that's the ongoing. You'll notice this one is another green one, but this one has a flag there. That means that this ability is going to happen at the end when you're doing the scoring. You notice it says you get +1 victory point for each green building in your airspace. And then we have the biosphere here, and there's that launch symbol that I had talked about before. So whenever you put this one into play and launch it, then you will do this ability as well. Now, you'll also notice, like we said, there's varying costs for launching the building. This one would cost 2 blue, this costs 3 green, that costs 2 green, and you've seen the other ones as well. So I think that about does it.
Yeah.
So let's shuffle up and get ready to play. Okay, so Megan has graciously allowed me to be the one who does the first split.
Yep.
You'll see there's a lot of pink out there.
There is.
But you know what? I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to make this a pile.
Ooh, okay.
And that a pile.
That makes kind of easy.
And I'll throw the warden chip on there like that.
Okay, let's see. What looks to be the best? That's not bad, because you'll get factions in that pile.
You got to have your factions in order to build.
I feel like that's what your strategy was, so you can keep being first player.
All right, so because I'm a warden, I get a cog.
Yeah. Good turn.
So the warden the warden will actually get a chance to build first.
Yes.
Let's see. Obviously, I can't build anything because I only have 1 cog. So
and I have all the factions that are out.
So you can't build?
Nope.
So that's a very uneventful first round.
That's normally how the first round goes, unless there is something really good that comes up with the deck here.
So the next thing we'll do is get 8 more cards. Oh, there's the Rocket Cat.
I think it's only like the second game we played that he's actually come up pretty early on.
Well, in a 2-player game, I mean, this deck is pretty good size.
And he's never run out either in a 2-player, so.
Oh, wow.
Lots of blue.
There is a lot of blue.
But there's blue factions, so that kind of helps.
Well, I'm going to do it like this.
You make up your mind so quick in this, which is like unusual, because I normally take so much longer.
And do it like that.
Yeah, you're wanting blue.
Now, one thing I didn't mention before is that at the end of the round, you have to have no more than 6 cards in your hand.
Yes.
You can discard 3 cards and get a cog on your turn as well. And for you can do that for as many cards as you have, because there is a possibility that you will have quite a few cards in your hand at the end of the turn. So you might as well get some cogs for it.
I went ahead and took that pile with the warden, so I got a cog for it.
Well, I have to go ahead and play the Rocket Cat because He's an immediate.
So I'm going to go ahead and build the dry dock for 2 pink there.
And you can only build 1 building on your turn unless you have a card that allows you to build more. So I just want to point that out.
Yep, so that's one of my buildings, and it's worth 3 points. And it has a bonus too for each blue or pink building that ends up in my airspace. I'll get some bonus points there for that too. So that will be my turn.
All right, I will build the garden, and that'll cost me a pink and a wild. So I will use my cog as the pink, and I will use the seer as my other. I have 5 cards. I'm not going to discard any.
Oh yeah, where am I at? Yeah, I'm good. I'm at 5. Got some pigeons.
And you can't have more than 1 copy of the same card in your tableau.
Yes.
I guess I'll move my tableau down a little bit.
Put
my rocket cat there in the end.
Let's keep all the pinks together. And then, there you go.
All right. Not even going to question it.
No, I didn't think you would. That's kind of what I was hoping for. I gotta go ahead and place my pigeon out, though. He's a negative, but, you know.
He's a negative. Alrighty. I will build... that is the temple.
Nice.
That's going to cost me 2 pink and 1 other. And I will go ahead and use my blue.
Very nice.
You're my boy, blue.
Is that from
Old school.
Oh, I was thinking Jurassic World, 'cause isn't the raptor blue?
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking of.
Yeah, but old school, that's what Will Ferrell said about the old guy. You're my boy, blue.
Alrighty. I've not seen either of those, so you know. I'm gonna go ahead and build my droid factory. So I've got the yellow, and then the green will be the other wild, and then my cog. So when my droid factory is in my airspace, I gain a cog whenever I launch a yellow or green building.
Okay.
And I'm good. I'm not gonna discard down any.
I am gonna discard 3, and I will take a cog.
Yep. Yeah, I'll discard 1, I guess.
Well, that doesn't get you anything.
No, but I don't need it.
Really?
Opens up my my hand a bit.
Well, if you don't have to discard it, though.
No, that was my decision.
All right.
Another pigeon.
Pigeon. Ooh, there's that. Ooh, the airship bay.
It's pretty nice.
I like the airship bay, but we don't have any airships out.
No, yeah, we don't.
Well, I'm going to go there, there, and there. Put those like that. Yeah, why not?
There you go. I'll take a cog, and there's another pigeon. Unfortunately.
Yeah, if you don't get that rookery, that
That's some points.
Might hurt a little.
Losing, but you know. I'm gonna go ahead and build my foundry. So I'm gonna use the cog as the yellow, and then the pink is the wild, and then I'll gain a cog, so just get that one back. And then, since I launched a yellow building, I'll go ahead and get a cog from my droid factory.
And that's a pretty good play there. Well, I will launch my market, and that's going to cost me 2 pink. So I will just use my 2 cogs.
Alright, point.
And then I am going to discard 3 and get a cog back. Cogs are like super important in
They
this game.
are. That's very true. There's an airship. Ooh, key.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna look.
Nice.
Just gonna take it.
That's what I wanted you to do. So thank you very much.
Yeah, because I can put my airship into play.
Nice.
And then I will launch another second garden. And that'll cost me...
What?
What's that?
How'd you launch a second? Oh, is that just your second in your airspace?
Yeah, it's my second
Okay,
one.
I thought you were saying you launched like 2 cards. I was like, wait a second.
No.
I was like,
So I
whoa,
will
missed something.
I will use my my preserver and my maker
Yeah, yeah.
to launch those guys. So I'm currently at 4 buildings.
I'm at 3. Going on 4. Oop, not that one yet. So I'm gonna launch my beacon. So that's 2 blue, and then I don't have any other, so just use a cog as a wild. And that's gonna be 5 points.
All right, I am not going to discard.
I'll discard 3, and then I'll take a cog.
Okay.
We'll do that.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, oh, 6, 7,
Ooh, jump gate.
8.
We realized later on how important that jump gate was.
Yeah, but nobody's really going blue faction
Not really,
this time
no.
because what tends to happen is you want to try to maximize your points, and a lot of times that means that you're probably going to go heavy with one faction, maybe 2. And blue we usually go for. It just happened to be that we got a lot of pink to begin with.
We did have a lot of pink, and pink and blue is normally the 2 I end up with, and you're normally more yellow and green. So, we're kind of going opposite tonight.
I think this is what I want to do.
I don't necessarily want you to get that 1 card. Just because it benefits you for having more pink buildings.
Well,
and you've got more. You've
I
already
have
got
that
that
card
though,
already
so it's
too.
kind of like, yeah. You can have that then.
So you are going to let me have that.
Yeah, I mean, if you already have it, you're not going to get double for it, are you?
Oh, wait a minute. That's the temple.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's that one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I will get double for that. Plus 4 if I have more
I'm already
pink buildings.
behind at this point. It's just kind of like, you know. Let's see.
1, 2, 3, 4. You're at 1, 2, 3, 4.
I'm just going to go ahead and build launch pad and use a cog to make that blue. So that goes off of my, my landing pad, not my launch pad. That goes off that
Now,
one.
why don't you go ahead and read the beacon's ability so our viewers can know why that goes well with the launch pad.
It's at the end of game scoring, it's plus 4 points if I have a landing pad in my airspace. So those kind of go off really well. Yeah, that's my turn.
I don't have the card I thought I did, but
No?
I do have a pigeon, and I will send a pigeon from my airspace to yours.
Thanks. That's so
And the
nice.
pigeon flew.
Those bonus points aren't going to matter in a minute.
Um,
I'm like not good at this game.
yeah, let's go ahead. I'm going to launch my second temple.
Jeez.
And that'll take 2 pinks. So there's 1 pink. 2 pink, and I'll use the green for the wild.
I mean, I could have prevented that, but it's like, where are you at? How many buildings you got?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 buildings.
So one more. So next turn, really.
Well, you're at 5 as well.
I am at 5 as well.
1,
Yes,
2, 3,
I
4,
am.
5. Yep.
But you're still gonna.
But you get to choose how you're gonna split this up, though.
Yeah, I could be very mean to you and just, you know, make something really bad. Who knows?
Every time I see this card, I want to thank him.
Why?
Because he's the maker.
Okay.
C-3PO, Star Wars, A New Hope.
Oh.
Thank the maker. This whole bath is going to feel so good. I've got such a bad case of dust contamination, I can barely move.
Alright then. It's been a while, I guess, since I've seen that one. Let's see. Yeah, that's what I thought I did. Okay.
I have a feeling I know what you're going to do. At least part of it.
Well, you know what? I'm already kind of hurting. The problem is, I feel like you could just, like, not be very nice too, so.
Me?
Yeah, you. The person that sucks the fun out of games, like, you know. Oh, I don't know.
Boy, if you've got a maker building, you could have some good things there. Let's see.
Please.
I gotta actually look.
Please don't.
I gotta look.
Please just take blindly.
Because that's the airship. I'm the good ship. I'm gonna take that one.
Thank you.
Take the cog.
I only needed one thing in this, and I was like, please don't take it from me.
Please don't take it.
I needed it so badly.
Oh no!
What? What? Can you not build? What just happened?
Don't have crud. There's something.
Is this gonna benefit me right now?
Well, not really gonna benefit you, but the only thing I can really do, shoot, I was wanting to do something else. I'm gonna have to build the airship bay.
Yes.
And that's gonna cost me 2 of anything, 2 wilds. That's the only thing I can build. So that's my 6th building.
That's it. Okay, that's fine. I'm gonna get my 6th building out though, because I got the rookery. That was the only thing I needed in that pile.
Oh crud! I forgot that was in there.
All my pigeons are now not negative anymore.
And they're worth 1 point apiece.
I mean, hey.
That actually might have cost me the game.
I don't think it.
I wanted to get that airship.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna go ahead and use that as the wild, and then a cog as that pink, and that's that.
All right, so now that we have 6 buildings, leftover cogs don't mean anything, so let's tally it up and find out who gets the trophy.
So I like how you said cogs don't matter.
Yeah.
Because that just decided the game.
Because what happened was we both have 6 buildings. We both have 29 points. The first tiebreaker is the player with the most buildings, but since we tied with that, the second tiebreaker is the player with the most cogs. I had none.
I had 1.
So yeah.
Yep.
You kind of schnookered me on that one.
And I kind of thought I was going to lose.
Schnookered me with the rookery.
It's like, it's not going to matter. But that rookery in the end definitely helped because that was...
Yeah, I wasn't paying attention when I took those. I should have taken it just to...
I was like,
because that would have been negative 6 points for you.
You had to look, and that worried me because I was like, no, he's going to take it.
Yeah, I kind of got a little too cocky. So, all right. So now that Megan has got the trophy that's covered in pigeon poop, let's get to what we think.
Well, I need to wash off the pigeon poo off this trophy, so I'll go ahead and let you go first.
Okay. Like I said, this is an I Split You Choose game. That's a mechanic that I'm not really wild about.
I'm not either.
In fact, we don't have very many games like that. We only have one other game, I think, that's like that, and that's New York Slice, which actually we did like.
Yeah.
But
the mechanic kind of worked a little bit differently in that one, though.
Well, that one, and most of the time we played it with 3 players. So that helped as well. I like this game, even though I'm not really wild about that mechanic in games. I like this for a couple of reasons. One, it actually plays very fast.
Yes, especially 2-player.
You know, and we've not played this with more than 2.
We've not.
And I have heard from other reviewers that this, I mean, it's going to slow down because the more players you add, the more piles the warden has to divvy up, and more people are going to be looking. So that's going to slow the game time down. So in a 2-player game, I like the fact that the game is fast. It's easy. I mean, there's really not a lot of text that you got to worry about. You got to look for the combos. You got to look for certain things. Like I said, I shouldn't have let you take the rookery.
You should have, because that helped. Thanks.
But the other thing is I really like the artwork in this game.
I do too.
And one of the things you pointed out when we were playing the other night was how they're kind of tailored for the different factions. So like the pink are, kind of have that Asian feel. You've got the Asian looking buildings.
Got temples and Chinese blossoms.
Yeah, and pink is kind of goes really good with that. This one here reminds me of Mulan.
Yeah, exactly. Definitely looks like Mulan. Just waiting for Shang-Li to pop through that art.
Yeah, and then you've got the makers here. They're kind of more of the industrial looking.
Yeah.
You've got a lot of earth type of colors.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
The blue. Or I don't want to talk about the blues
yet.
yet.
We didn't get greens really out on the table.
Actually, we didn't, and I usually get a lot of greens.
You do.
The greens are more of the industrial looking with the robots, so they're kind of cool. And I think we both agree that what looks the coolest is the blue.
It looks like Tron.
This does look like Tron, and I don't know if that was heavily inspired.
I'm sure it was.
But the blue, I think, really looked cool. And where's the card that you had?
What?
Did you discard the jump gate?
You had it.
I had it.
You had it.
I had the jump gate. That's right, because I wanted to play this card. So, one, come on, this is a Stargate.
It is.
If you've watched Stargate SG-1, or if you watched the movie, you know this is a Stargate, and they call it a jump gate. This is probably my favorite piece of art just because I love Stargate. But I also love the ability on this one. I really wanted to do this. An opponent must choose a building in their airspace and swap it with jump gate. So I was looking at your cards, and before you played that launch pad down, I thought, I'll put this down. And you had some high counting cards out there. So I thought, I'll be able to do that. Or I was going to take that launch pad. Well, it's your choice. I figured you'd give me the launch pad and take this because that was your lowest, but that would also get rid of the bonus for you. So I don't know if you really would have done that or not. But this is a really good card to get early game because a player may have a high-scoring building. There are some buildings. We saw some 5s. There's an 8.
It's one of the yellow ones.
And it's one I think you actually have to discard out of your...
I had it, and I had it very early on. It's a yellow. And I was like, that would have been really cool to have, but then it just I didn't think I was going to be able to build it. Ah, here it is. So it's the clock tower. So.
The clock tower. Save the clock tower!
Yeah. Honestly, this particular piece of artwork, and it's probably just me, it reminds me in the second Kingdom Hearts, and I can't remember what the town is that you're first in, like when you're a tutorial town, and it looks like that. I think it was like it wasn't Tower, it was Twilight Town. So that reminds me of that though. But
yeah, 8 victory points, and you can see it says discard basically a maker building in your airspace, and you're going to gain 2 cogs. So not only are you going to get 8 points, you're going to get 2 cogs out of this, and you could get rid of. There's I think some 1-cost buildings as well.
There's a lot of those, yeah.
So this would be an awesome card. Again, it's going to take 3 of the maker factions. So this is going to be one that you're probably going to want to try to make sure you go and get those maker guys.
Or just have cogs.
Or have cogs. That is true. Some other art that I want to show off is the airships. Now, there's a lot of airships that are hidden in a lot of the other art in the cards, as you can see right back there. There's an airship.
Yeah.
But I think the airships really look cool.
They're each tailored to each of the factions, which is pretty cool.
That is correct. So really dig the artwork on that.
They're also in the airship bay. So you have you have 3 in there. But, they're all each in the pigeon cards as well. So we didn't get to one of them, but they all kind of have that in there, which is kind of cool. So it's almost like, if you look here, like the same image, just different angle, but the picture was taken. Because you have the pigeon down there and the pigeon there. So it's just kind of cool for the nuances. Is it?
Yeah,
it is
see,
that
it's
one.
got the...
It was yellowish.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean. It's pretty
and see,
cool.
and there's a pigeon right down there.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah, same picture, different angle.
Yep. So that's a really cool little Easter egg that the game includes there. Component-wise, like I said, the cards, these are actually bigger cards than standard size.
Yeah.
And they work really well. I mean, they're nice. They got a good finish on them. They're easy to shuffle. So I like that aspect about them.
And tokens are pretty thick cardboard tokens here. Same along with the Warden token as well. Same thickness and finish as well.
Yeah, and like I showed you that, at the beginning. You can see that's nice and thick. You could bling that out if you wanted to.
If you wanted to,
And like I said, the player board really isn't needed, but it's nice to have. And having the dual artwork on there, I think, is really kind of cool. There you see all those, all the airships there as well. So, like I said, normally this isn't my kind of game, but I do like this. This is one that I wouldn't mind pulling out every so often because it's a change of pace. It plays fast, especially with 2 players. It's easy. So this, I would categorize this as a filler game. And if you get tired of just the base game, the game actually comes with 2 expansions built in. Now, we've not played with these expansions yet, but Megan, why don't you go ahead and show them the cards?
Yeah, so we have some of these here. This is part of the Discord expansion.
The Illusion Matrix.
It's pretty cool. The artwork on here is actually really interesting, I think. It's just very almost different style compared to the base game. So, I mean, that kind of helps differentiate it. But, I mean, you also have, the different color. That just looks like a Cthulhu bird. The tentacles. I mean, some really cool artwork. Oh, and then you have a couple of these.
Actually, you've got quite a few. And those are actually numbered as well.
So that's pretty cool. And then we also have the Allegiance expansion, I believe. And you just have the different faction symbols here. Threshold, Solar Pact, Archivist, Utopian. So it's kind of cool. Again, not really quite sure what these are for, but they look kind of cool though.
Yeah, like I said, we have not played with those. In the rule book, though, it does have a whole section on using those. So there's the Allegiance expansion and there's the Discord expansion. And speaking of the rule book, there's not a lot to it.
No.
But it's actually pretty good. It kind of gives you a little bit of backstory. Here's the card effects. Here's the factions. You've got... Here's the playing of the game, here's the ending of the game, and an FAQ. So I've actually found the FAQ to be pretty beneficial, as well as the card clarification section. So you can see and get a little better idea of what each of those cards does. I've also noticed on Board Game Geek that my buddy Alan from Rule and Make is on there, and he's been very quick to answer questions if anybody's had them.
And kind of like you said, you wouldn't mind pulling this out, and it is a very quick game for us. I mean, the box is not too terribly big. You could easily pop it in your backpack and take it with you.
Oh, yeah.
So it'd be a good little travel filler game, too, if you just want to take something small with you. And it's a pretty quick card game that you can knock out, just killing some time, too.
Yep. All right, so that is Skyward, and we will catch you guys next time.
Bye.
If you would like to support us, you can visit patreon.com/dadvdaughter.
Like and follow us on Facebook to stay current on our show schedule, sneak peeks at future shows, and to interact with us.